Hello, this is Meredith Eisenberg of solobizhacker.com, and today I am going to show you how to use goals in automations in ActiveCampaign to take people out of sequences when they've created a specific action like signing up for a webinar. So I've created a demo sequence here, and so people get 3 different emails, and there's a day between each one. So let's say that these were emails to register for a webinar, and somebody signs up for the webinar. At that point, you don't need to keep sending them emails asking them to sign up for the webinar. That is likely to really annoy them and make them not show up for the webinar. So here's how to pull them out of the sequence. What we want to do is create a goal. And so you do this by going to Conditions and Workflow and clicking on Goal. And so I'm going to make my goal sign up for the webinar. And people will go down to this goal action when they get the tag saying that they've signed up for the webinar. And usually this tag is added by your lead pages or however you decide to get people registered. So I will just use this and click Save. Okay, and so then we get some other options here. You don't need to worry about the conversion trigger. And for this goal, you definitely want the goal to be below the contact's position, but there could be some circumstances where if they hit the goal anywhere in this huge, big, complicated thing, then they go straight down to the goal thing. But generally, it'll be below the contact's position. And then if the contact goes through all 3 emails without signing up for the webinar, what happens to them? Most of the time, you are just going to say, done. You're out of this automation. You've had your 3 chances. You haven't registered. You are out. Sometimes you may have a date-specific message that you send everybody reminding them of the webinar, whether they've registered or not. So, hey, the webinar is starting. Click here to join. I found that that's actually worth it to do because sometimes people will just hop on at the last second. And so you're giving people the opportunity to do that without registering. So if you were going to do that, then if people hadn't met the goal, they would just keep continuing down the path. And then finally, and this is a little bit of a different scenario. So let's say that you're doing customer onboarding and people need to turn in an initial onboarding questionnaire. So instead of having it go boom, boom, boom like this, you would just kind of have a loop where people keep getting emails over and over and over again, and if they've gotten, and each time they go through the loop, you get an email notifying them that they still haven't done this, and that's fairly easy to set up an ActiveCampaign. So in that case, if you were going to do something like that, where people, just kept bouncing through, you would go ahead and set that for wait until they've achieved the goal, and then once they send you the form or do whatever the action is, they can move on with the rest of the onboarding sequence. So I hope that that helps you, and if you have any questions, let me know. You can reach me at meredith@solobizhacker.com.